Greetings and salutations, young true believers. So, the coming module, week 3, will focus on music and architecture. In particular, it'll also be a little bit about film. And again, as is consistent with the overall character of the course, there will be a definite aspect in which we examine the overlap between ethics and aesthetics. So, to begin, let's talk a little bit about architecture briefly. Architecture has a reputation as a compromised form of art. And what do we mean by that? Architecture is considered compromised art because the architect, no matter how beautiful they wish to make a building, no matter how aesthetically pleasing they wish to make a building, they always have to give due consideration to the functional needs of a building, right? A building of any kind must serve to accommodate the needs of human beings, the physical needs of human beings, right? So, whereas a painting or a piece of music doesn't have to attend to, or put it this way, the artist who's creating a painting or a sculpture or a piece of music doesn't have to attend to the needs, the bodily needs of a human being. A building is a creation. It's a product of artifice that must, the creator thereof must give due diligence and due consideration to the needs of human beings, and this can't be avoided. So, can there be a building, a work of architecture that isn't somehow a compromise between the artist's vision and the needs of human beings, right? And this is a very interesting debate. Most of the students take the view that architecture doesn't have to necessarily be compromised, but again, we'll see exactly where you come down on that. Philosophy of film. In this particular section, we'll examine some very significant overlap between ethics and aesthetics. And, well, we may as well dive into the unpleasant right now. One of the articles that we're going to read for this section concerns the work of Leni Riefenstahl. Leni Riefenstahl was a German film producer. She is legendary among students of film for having created and popularized certain innovative techniques that we still use in film today, like moving shots from cars, shots from airplanes. Leni Riefenstahl was the producer, the director, who originated all of that. But here's where things become ugly. Riefenstahl shot several propaganda pieces for Hitler and the Nazis, right? And the quintessential piece of propaganda that she produced was a work called Triumph of the Will. And where this presents significant problems for aesthetic philosophers is that, strictly from a point of view, you're taking in the physical aspects, right? The production of the work, trying to separate it from its meaning. It's a beautiful piece of art, right? But it's compromised because the message conveyed is one that's clearly evil, right? Now, for her part, Riefenstahl argued, and she argued this until she died in the 80s. Well, I never let Hitler and the Nazis compromise my artistic vision, and I didn't think of myself as making propaganda pieces for them. But when you read Joseph Goebbels' diaries and he talks about Riefenstahl's relationship to the Nazi Party, he knows that she was always very supportive of Nazis. And when she was confronted with this in an interview, she stormed out in rage, right? So, can a piece, the question for us, the central question for us, can a work of art be evil in nature and still be beautiful? And even if it is beautiful, should it be something that we praise, that we that we laud with the appellation beautiful. Music. We're going to talk a lot about music in this chapter, right? What exactly is the relationship between music and the emotions? What's the relationship? How is it that music, seemingly more so than any other form of art, has such significant impact on human emotion, right? We're also going to consider questions such as, one of the articles we're going to read is a famous article, Can White People Play the Blues? And this has to do with questions of cultural appropriation and who can rightly be said to, I don't want to say use the word own, right? But who can play a certain kind of music or produce a certain kind of art? Who has the rights to do this? And whom is guilty of appropriating someone's culture, right? This is obviously an extremely important question, and all the more salient given recent events the past few months in this country, right? So again, as you're reading through the works this coming week, consider that, and I'll catch up with you on Monday.